Hello. Hi. Are we live? We are. Hi. Hello. Howdy, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late. If you're watching the VODs, this won't matter for you at all, but I had a cavalcade of calamity going on here. We'll talk about that in a second, but thank you everyone for watching. Welcome. I'm glad you all have joined me today. Oh, these were the same thing. We were just an hour apart. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's the same thing. All right, sorry. We'll get focused in a second. Howdy, everyone. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you, hear you, be here with you. My name's Austin. Welcome back to the Super Robot Wars Archives. I hope you're all having a good day. What else could go wrong? My frames could start dropping. We're just having such a wonderful time. Chaos hasn't ensued over here, but we're gonna see how close we can get to the end of the game today. We must be getting there. I'm gonna guess we're probably not gonna get a lot of other side chapters for this or side scenarios for this chapter. We're probably mostly gonna be hitting, yeah, probably mostly story beats. It does look like we're forcing Sho and Shion into their theoretical upgrades. I'm not sure how much we like that. But yeah, this is definitely something. Well, I guess we do have Sho in the build by now, so that's fine. We just don't have Shion in either of his few mechs. This will definitely be something to like have. I'll have fun figuring that out, whether these are worth it or not. So far, they don't seem like it. Yeah, so I would like to, I guess, hold on, let's make sure I got this guy's name spelled right. Seivas? Yeah, I did. Okay, great. I'm going to try and push Seivas a little bit more. I like, really disinterested in Char. I mean, he's fine. But something's just not coming together with him, and I'm not quite sure what. I think, yeah, I think there's some amount of investment that I'm misunderstanding that I don't have here that we do in other pilots. But we can deal with that. I guess we're going to try and not deal with that. He's got 275 skill. Let's try and think about this a little bit. Now that we're getting to the end, I don't need to like milk this for content, but I've sort of, like I said a couple times, I've sort of forgotten why I'm here, that this is not just for just a playthrough, like I want to figure stuff out. Okay, so we're a little short of doubling like Hayate, which is like, if we can do that, it's a pretty good benchmark. So yeah, that's a decent amount of skill, which I'm not surprised by with Char. I'm not surprised by that. So like we could just be putting second attack in, but that's so energy expensive. Though I suppose if we're just short of killing, we could use one of the like ammo bits or one of the like cheaper energy cost weapons. Like I think ultimately it's not actually that worth it in the long run, but like we have invested into him now, so we may as well keep going. Howdy, welcome. I see someone has joined me. I'm glad to see you're here. We're just trying to figure out sort of what we're doing. It's been a hot minute since I've actually interacted with Y at all, because we didn't have streams on Sunday. We didn't have a stream on Sunday, and then it's been a week then. It's been a week since then, which feels like not a whole lot of time, but it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time from my end. Sport attacks don't matter. We could be putting some fighting spirit on Char. That might not be bad. How much does 2 cost us? 60,000, so take 25% off of that. So what's that, 45,000? But that's not the problem though. We can jump him quickly. We need like max morale. Yeah, and we could buy that now. I guess we must have finished the last scenario and not actually spent our money. That must be it. Yeah, or like maybe we just sack him, say he's decent, but like the reason I'm interested in Seivas is, and we've talked about this a little bit before, but just as like a refresher. His ace bonus is plus 20% damage. We don't care about the defensive parts. We're never gonna take a hit. We have a really cheap like final attack. This costs 20 less because of his upgrade bonus, his custom bonus. Like 40 is the energy cost we were looking at with Hayate calling it good, so like it's still good here. I feel like he had one. Oh yes, yeah. And survival strategy genes also adds another 15% extra damage that that other characters don't have access to, that he will have on top of everybody else's damage. So that's why he feels really tempting. So let me look at the unit. We don't have the 10 mark custom bonus. So we can do that to get an extra 10% damage, or what we're assuming 10% damage by getting these things up to S. I guess like B won't be an S, but the water won't go to S, it'll go to A because it's set to B right now. But that's okay. I just think that's also a smaller amount of damage comparatively, so I would rather better we get him his like skill, the damage through skills first. Yeah, I guess we must not have just like spent from last scenario. I think the most important one is attacker first. This is the largest increase in damage, and we can get there easily. Then what type of damage are you doing? You're doing melee. So we'll buy 4 levels of infighting. That gives him extra movement. He's at 7, so he's going up to 8. We need... what else? Instinct doesn't matter to us. There's a couple things I want to test, and I'll talk about those once we finish figuring out what we're on him. But there's a couple of pieces of information that I was thinking about that I'm like, I wonder if this works in a way that is favorable to us. That's interesting and good that you can't get save B on him. I feel like in past games they would allow you to put stuff on pilots even though they weren't relevant. Like, I'm pretty sure in GC you were allowed to take like ammo up, even if a unit didn't have ammo. Let's hit save energy, and then I guess we can check break morale limit. We can get 5, or we can get that plus 10. It goes to 160. I'm not sure how much that's actually mattering. I mean, it's like it is stacking a little bit more. Eventually, second attack, we can probably spec into that, depending on how much time we have left. But it might just be better to get more infighting. I guess theoretically, knowing the answer to one of my questions would actually matter here. Yeah, let's do some more infighting. Yeah, that seems fine. Actually, while we're here, here's the other thing that I was like frustrated with about Char. Like, he has 9 levels of gunfighting also, and he's still not like making this work. It's very frustrating. Okay, so I guess while we're on the screen, there's no reason we can't talk about it here. One of the things that I want to know is, how does Lucky Star interact with press? Also activates at the start of own phase at 130 morale. I'm assuming, like, how that reads to me is we go to player phase on turn, like on round 1 player phase. Anybody who has Lucky Star gets it activated, and then anything beyond, like, repressing is not going to give us Lucky Stars, is how I'm reading that, but that might not actually be how it works. I guess, do you have Lucky Star? No, you do not. Who does have it? Galma does? Yeah. Does, not the Jet Jaguar, does the Grid Knight have it? No. Okay. Are we able to, like, sort by skill? Probably not. I did, there was a menu that you're allowed to look at that, and I was like, when would you ever use that menu? But I think we're gonna use it. If we can even do it here, we can. Yeah, I asked, why would you ever use this menu? It's funny, we are gonna use it now. Okay. Domon only has level 1. Kira has level 2. Okay, so we can check this with Kira. I don't think it's going to work, but it to me is worth asking. And second, I want to look at actually how Char is doing damage. So I think we're kind of just getting shorted on damage based on how the game is, like, built. I think the language is not communicating things correctly. So, new type weapons gain plus 50 more attack per level of new type. We have 9 levels of new type, so that should be 450 points of extra damage. New type itself, if I can press the right button, new type itself says weapons that require new type gain 400 extra power. This actually says 450 because we have 1 level of new type banked down here that's not being factored in here. So this should be increasing, this should be 900 points of damage that Char is adding to the Sazabi. And unfortunately, you can't just, like, unequip somebody. We can go, like, oh yeah, we know, hold on. We can go like this. That would take Char out of the Sazabi. So we can look here. Okay. This is 750. So based on my thinking, this should go down to 660, but we'll see what it goes down to. Oh, it goes even lower than that. Okay. It goes down to 625. That's interesting. This is from 625 up to 750. So we gained 1,025 points of damage. Well, now we're getting more than I expected. I was really hoping there was, like, something here that I was, like, thinking we were getting more damage than we were supposed to. Or we weren't getting enough damage, and that was why I was, like, overestimating him. But no? Okay. Did I do my math wrong? 9 times 50 is 450. Yeah. Maybe new type level 9 is giving more, isn't just going up by 50s anymore. Maybe, like, on the last level it jumps 1 higher. But we're what, 450. We need 1250. So there's no way that's jumping from 400 to 800 points of damage. Like, that's bonkers. We don't have morale set, so it's not modifying here, and that's damage, not power. Oh, actually, here. Yeah, it's gunfighting that's doing it. So it's actually 453 times. Is that correct? That is 1350. If it is, in fact, 450, right, we have this 450. We have this, theoretically, 450. I guess let's just count this as 400 right now, because we don't... The ace bonus, when we got the ace bonus, we were at the same, like, we were at level new type, like, level 6 or something. We got the ace bonus, and it didn't change what our new type level is, but that doesn't actually mean that the ace bonus is programmed correctly. So let's just, this is 400. This is 450, going up to 850. And then this 50 is, and only adding, theoretically, 8 levels, so another 400. And that is 1250, which is exactly what we were off by. So that checks out. Is the, and maybe either A, I'm misremembering how we got that new type level. Maybe I looked after we got it and I didn't realize. Or you just don't actually get an extra new type, a new level of new type. Okay. Cool. We're gonna switch you over to whatever it was that Char was wearing. So this is the Prana Converter. We need grade. You take the Prana Converter, and maybe we probably don't need the dynamometer because we can just restore him his energy with some with the second. Though I guess it is like technically still better. I was thinking if you could like be fully independent, if you're gonna restore with the second anyway, you could have one of the parts here that gives you extra money on kills. It's like right, so like Credit Getter doesn't work, but like Bank of Amon check does. Because if we put Bank of Amon check here with Prana Converter, that's going from 500 to 1,000. Then if we're fortuning every time, it's going from 1,000 to 2,000. 2,000 extra cash is like actually probably worth it. But we need the consistency first, I think. We have trained Char, so let's give him some damage, right? Like it's not like he's unusable. It's just he's not like crushing things the way everybody else is. I want available, not new. Oh yeah, we also want to switch over who's getting repairs. Yeah, we got a lot of updating to do at the beginning here. I apologize. This is usually why I like to do it at the end, but for whatever reason I didn't do that. Pro photon kernel. I know the other part we had was giving extra morale once you hit 120. I guess we can do that. Is it, yeah, or amplifier? Sure, that's fine. Okay, next okay, but here's the downside. If we do that, if we do switch to the, like, repair situation, we are dropping a part slot. Okay, can we put Olibe... this is still this is the way I don't want to do it. Is there something from Elgame that has 3 part slots? I don't think so. Yeah, that's a bummer. Okay. I guess actually, hold on, let's vaguely answer this question now. The wing team does have a 3-part unit available to them, but like this is definitely an upgrade. So the wing and the universal sentry do have 3-part units that they can switch into, but nobody else does, at least from what I've gotten. You have a resupply device, but that's like potentially fine. Okay, is Fa doing anything? Are we actually like using her at all? Just for her cheers, which we don't really need. So let's switch you into Quest. I think when we were talking to NR151 last time, he said the Quest also got a Unity, so let's jump her in here. I think that, I guess we'll let that be fine for now. We can take this off. This is also maybe a lot of changes for, as I was just doing that, I'm like, this is also maybe a lot of changes for what might not actually end up mattering when we have like 2 stages left. Yeah, I think I say this like every time, but I do mean it every time. That I feel like I know more about what I want out of a future playthrough. Where I feel like I've misused some of my resources at the end here. Just because I was trying Step Out. And, like, that's fine. Like, that's what I should do. It just, you know, for the purposes of, like, trying to do this well, I definitely think we missed some things. Why did we fade there for... That felt a little unnecessary. Yeah, I guess we haven't finished up. We have not finished with the L game plot yet. Oh, right, and we can't bring the Grand into space, so Lacus it is. Pretty much all of you I'm happy with. I know we don't have the parts on Shion, but that's okay. Oh yeah, we also keep, like, we are hitting a lot more, like, deployables now than we have been before. Pretty consistently. Oh yeah, we also, right, we haven't finished up. We haven't finished up with, not Nadeshko, Macross enemies. Yeah, there's a couple things we've got to, like, follow up on that we haven't, like, fully. I feel like we've not fully gotten conclusions on. Like, for instance, we did do a secret for you go here, you go here. No, Shark can be in the back. I don't. If he gets to participate, great. If not, I'm not that upset about it. And then we'll put there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we did a secret for the Dynazenon, and we did not see a payoff for that. The only reason I know that's a secret is because we were talking about it in like, people in chat were talking about it. But we've not seen the results of that yet. I swear we could get Keith. I feel like we should be able to. Maybe we'll get him at the very end. Or maybe this is like if you recruit him before his eye patch switches over. Or you can recruit him before his eye patch switches. And then if he does, then he's locked in. And then I guess I don't know who he'd be replaced with. Or maybe he would just, like, not be there. Okay, so our objective is first to take out Keith. And then we're probably going to have to pivot over into the L game. Seeing as from the very little brief bit of story that I didn't read, it looks like we are mostly on L game territory. I forgot how many named characters there were in it. There's a lot of bosses sitting over here. I'm curious if we'll have enough damage for it. Okay. Let's jam. I guess first have that before I forget that. Seveshal. And we're only losing 10 stats from the... what's it called? Grand. So that's not that big a deal. And once we get Seivas in the middle here... Yeah, that's perfect. Here's an intuition for a bullseye for the whole turn. We don't need to waste stuff on Spirit. We're gonna gain that natively, and he's already, like, over damaging, so that we don't need to spend that. It's just about giving him extra turns. Okay. Oh, we still never put our other assist pilot in. Hopefully I'll remember. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. I guess, yeah, we can see this attacking, and we haven't seen this attack. Well, what I'm really hoping for is that he will get a press or a zeal at the end of his kit to make this go faster for us. But I'm not holding my breath on it. Yeah, it's just that this is going to be really, like, time inefficient to get to use him the way we want. Which I think, and I think for the purposes of clearing the best, like, Seivas probably doesn't need to be the one who's, like, clearing the map. We can let someone who has press clear the generics, and then save people like Seivas, like Domon, for boss kills, or, like, for helping with boss fights. It's just that he's, like, behind in level, so I figure we may as well use this as an excuse to level him up. And just, like, so we could use somebody different. No, he got bravery. That's not what we wanted to see at all. Okay. Oh yeah, didn't someone get? Hold on. Didn't someone get Zeal the other time? Yeah, they did. Oh, the Grid Knight has it. That makes sense. Oh, but Zeal only applies to you. There isn't an awakening in this game because press exists, probably. Okay. We'll move Olive over here. That's going to 4, going to 7. Spirits, rouse. Yeah. Okay, great. I'm remembering that we need to do that first because anything less is like doing it later. It feels prone to produce a flag that's going to like any later, and we're gonna accidentally get a flag that's gonna like increase our morale and then like overcap Olive on SP. Okay. Spirit. Nope. But otherwise we are infinite with Seivas. So that's good. You can go. That's up to 8 now. Yeah, I guess we can spend down to 5 because it's going to. Oh, okay, no, we need 2 kills to get us to 6. That's fine. Though I guess we're also taking a lot more damage because I'm like wasting time, like killing these goofs where we could just be fighting bosses. It's like this is what I was saying, where this is a lot of wasted time fighting these. If we had 2 Prophoton kernels, I would feel not as bad about it. But we might just clear the generics with Hayate, and then let whoever our target is take care of the bosses. You only have 4,700 HP. Yeah, so I don't think we need anyone over here other than Seivas because like what, that's 14,000. We can solve that really easy. Yeah. I think Seivas is probably fine on his own over here. We might do a little bit of like morale manipulation. I was just thinking if like before we get too deep into this, we should remember how to like we should remember to jump our pilots forward that like need to be available for like boss fights, right? So like make sure Domon has something that he can like hit from here. I guess let's do that just to make sure. Yeah. You can take this just because there's at this point there's really no reason to. We're just like adding on to the units that are already like deeply lethal. Right, so like he's in position now. I guess the Dynazenon probably isn't going to be, not that it needs to be. Oh, right, we do still have Lacus, too, who will actually, like, someone who we're probably going to actually need to use. I guess let's see if we can get the Getter over. Though this doesn't matter as much because this is going to be over with... Yeah, this is going to be over with the Elgame people, and we're not dealing with them yet. So why don't we just... Actually, I shouldn't have used that. We'll wait on that until we need to get over. And then... Actually, the rest of these are also going to be... They feel less pressing to me, seeing as we have a Lacus to move them forward. And if we just ignore the rest of the generics and go for bosses now, I think that's fine. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Do we want to drop all of the morale? I guess technically yes. I suppose we can use bravery first before we need to feel like we need to be spending souls. Okay, that's a battleship down. We might just take that now. How close are we here? Not as close as I was hoping. Yeah, we got to spend a lot of resources to do that. I think it's because Seivas is like not like he's like definitely not all suited up yet. He could definitely get a lot more, but it's impressive that he's doing this much now, and I think it's definitely because he has that extra, like, I guess 2020 now, right? He has survival gene. Oh no, okay, so it looks like maybe odd levels are dumping damage and even levels are dumping hit and dodge. Probably what it is. Okay. Okay, so let's take a bless and take a cheer. And we'll take out this battleship. Though I suppose we need to be careful with our fortunes, seeing as we don't have an infinite supply of them now, right? Oh, we didn't press him, though. Okay. Well, I don't feel like doing all of that again, so... Yeah, I mean, he's like... I still maintain that he is good. He can output a lot of damage. It's just that he needs to outsource a number of his tools. Where, like Hayate has exactly what we want. Excel Press, Soul, and Intuition are, I think are the winning combo. Yeah, I get, like, we'll take the blesses here for now. But we might be able to get a bless off of Mio. I don't remember. Cheer, Excel, Rouse, Soul. No, we can't. Okay. So, given that, we have only one left on it. Only one left on Anina, and I think we took off the person who gives yeah, we don't have someone who gives SP to everybody. Okay. So I guess we'll save that last one for whatever seems like a real boss. We need Soul. Oh no, but he's got love. He's got love. Never mind. Well, we can. Yeah, he just continues to be like the best pilot. Yeah, there's just like lots of 20k sitting here that I don't want to waste. You need... We'll spend the press first now. And then we need to give you the second. Then we'll do this with parts here. We may as well start looping. This is such a combo-tastic game, which I know is not people's speed. It does feel very weird coming from something like GC to this and just how different it is. I wonder how many other, yeah, I mean, like, sound off in the comments if you'd like for me. How many other games have this style of system, be it for everybody or just for one pilot, or like individual two pilots? Because I'm pretty sure I know VTX and 30 have some degree of this system of like assist. But I believe we said that a couple of those games had it tied to that it was tied to a pilot specifically rather than a like global pool you could pull on. Which in my mind makes this like more stupid. Depending, I think there's easier ways to break it if it's just on one person. But I'm curious if there's a version of this that doesn't just like snap the game in twain. Because Yeah, it's so dominant. Maybe if we play this again, we just say no assists. Or like no active assists. I'm fine. None of the passives are I was gonna say none of the passives are even that broken, but like that's not true. If I can get whoever the woman who drops the passive or the spirit cost is, we also still go infinite with Unity. No, I guess no. Sorry, we don't actually. No, that's not true. We don't immediately go infinite with Unity because A, we don't have a way of restoring SP, but also doesn't matter because if we're not allowed to use the actives, then it could like that being cost reduced doesn't matter. So no, she would be fine then. She would be fine then. Yeah, it's just let's shoot on the battleship too. This is probably worth some money. Not very much. Yeah, so it's just the actives that are the problem. Maybe that will be the plan if we play next time we play this game. Which I don't know when that's going to be, but like I could foresee us like booting it back up when we get news on like Expert Plus or like Super Expert Ultra Turbo Plus or whatever very like anime sounding name they're gonna give it. Can we use anything else? We might as well use the soul. If we're gonna restore our SP, we might like I wanna like fully spend. I guess we're not over capping, but that's fine. Yeah, I get like it's fine. We don't care about moving quite yet. You've been pressed. I asked if Seivas could save us, and I just really messed that question up, but that's fine. It's fine. Like, cause like as much as Hayate is like over leveled, a lot of that is coming from us having like bought 150 points into him. So like those stats could have gone to anybody. It's just the consistency of the rest of the spirits. Oh, we don't get to immediately one-shot him. That's fun and cool. Yeah, and I know I say this a couple of times too, but while we're here, I guess a question for people: how do we want to handle a ban list? And B, I guess we kill him in 2 shots, but I don't want that. I want him dead now. Let's daunt him down. Yeah, so like how do we want to handle a ban list? I have some thoughts, but like I also want to hear from y'all. Typically that is not the style of thing that I like doing, but if it is going to be something that is necessary, I tend to like it to have large changes at first, just so we can like make sure we feel the impact of it. Still no. Oh, because we're also not critting. We could have probably just fixed this with boss immediately. You've not been pressed yet, which we need to do. Right, so like saying we're banning all of assists, and like also make sure that we ban Hayate. But it feels to me like we probably ought to. I would rather ban like characters rather than like play styles, because I think it's really hard to qualify a play style. Like I suppose you could say like don't go infinite, but like I've had trouble with that logic in card games where like, okay, well what does that mean though? Because like sometimes these interactions just sort of happen. I mean, like I'm kind of forcing this one. But like, does that mean we shouldn't use Unity at all? Like, do I not like? Should I not loop it? Like, how do we want that to look? I think at least in this case, the answer is just like the whole of it should be gone. Um, but some like for elements that are similar. There we go. There's some like there's an actual boss. Oh, this is definitely a Macross enemy. Macross Megacion. Oh, these people seem pretty mind controlled based on their portraits. Is this a different unit than we've seen before? I don't remember them being this white. Yeah. It's also destroying him is also not the final objective. Right. Oh, we got a second Macross battleship. Yeah, I mean, like, you've got like nothing going on. Okay. This music is haunting, and I love that. How close are we? Not actually that close. We also don't like. We are not making it even if we are doubling, which is interesting. Now we are. And we have flash, so we're 100% dodging this. That's fine, I think. You know, we'll go to combat so we can see what this looks like. Yeah, we got everything there. Yeah, but like, I think Unity. Yeah, I think we just ban activists. I think we ban activists. That works out. That solves a lot of our other problems too. But, right, like, is it? Yeah, I don't know because my brain thinks like that. Like, how do you try and ban a play style of that? Is it this character could only get a certain number of kills a map? But like that feels not trying to recognize the context of the map. And I'd rather a rule that works every time that doesn't need to have exceptions to qualify it, and just like build the rule, like build the ban around what those exceptions might entail. $26,000. Well, I was sort of hoping we got back over here we would be like transformed all the time. That would be cool. Burn is in here. I probably, if we kill him somehow in here with like Sho or Shion, we'll get him, but I am not concerned with it. You know what? This is a lot of money we were leaving on the table, and I was just saying we need more cash, so hold on. I guess we'll be boring. I'm gonna turn the animations up a little faster. But yeah, but because this has been such a dominant strategy problem, I feel like we've seen little else that could feel really busted. And I do think beyond I think beyond this ability to go infinite, we really are not. We're not really doing anything that is like that overpowered. But like extra turns are always kind of a nightmare for like game balance. I think Zeal comes late enough that we probably don't need to worry about it, and instead we'll just like. I think they ended up being fine in R because it ended up like it felt like I got to try and press myself to complete things sooner, rather than feeling like I was like not playing the game anymore, you know. But like maybe we were trying to fix a problem that just like can't be fixed, that is just sort of like baked into the fabric of how the game works, right? Like maybe rather than trying to fix it, just like play a different game. It's only 3,300, but this is a lot of 3,300s. This is probably worth it. What's the other part you're wearing? Close range assist. Okay. We could probably put the Bank of Amon check on him and feel pretty comfortable with that choice, just because that's like what? That's 500 extra. And do we get told what? I don't remember what the bonus for being a gold ace gives you. It's some amount of funds increase. Yeah, so we'll switch that out next time. 2, 3. Yeah, I mean I think another easy answer is, or another like easy thing to ban, not that we really did it much in this game, but like definitely no farming. I guess, hold on, we do need to be a little concerned next. We do need to start getting these pilots over. I was expecting there to be more battleships here, but they did sort of, or like more fighters there, but they did sort of disappear. The people who care about moving the most over are the Dynazenon and the Strike Freedom Gundam. But we could avoid this problem of these two being like really far away by just moving like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away from the Dynazenon, and then like 3 is 1 combining into him, and then picking up, like that gives us a lot more movement. Because I don't think Hayate can probably kill Royd on his own. I think. Oh, good. The Grand Garan's also just here, very much out of position. That's cool and fine. I guess now's the time to figure out if we can get the Getter involved back there too. I think the answer is yes. Yeah. Just do we actually want them to be? Yeah, I guess probably. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. I was sort of hoping at 60 we were going to see what Takuma's last spirit did. Okay, we can kill here. And then that gets us to the back. Yeah, let's do that. Yep, that's lethal. Great. Yeah. Not a lot of damage, but it will add up. Cool. Here, let's intimidate. Where? There you are. I guess actually we can actually look at Royd. We should do that. Hold on, let's look at Royd. Dimensional Fault gains 200 power, 20,000 HP. That doesn't mean anything. You have no abilities. Fold Quartz at 130 morale. The pilot gains 10 more SP at the start of the run phase. Cool. This feels like a battleship that we're going to blow up, and then Royd's gonna like come out of it in his like actual unit. Fold Wave Detection activates when units below 30. That doesn't matter to us. That doesn't matter to us. That's the one that's going to be concerning. We'll need to drop that. Negates incoming weapon effects. And we can't drop them below 100. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. We have enough on Suleta still. Yeah, that dropped him to 1. He had 112, and that dropped him to 100. There's something up with people who have Spirit Endurance that when they take a Daunt, it drops them. It just like sets them to 100. It's very weird. Okay. I guess let's see how much are you doing. 1, 2, 3. 20,000's not a ton. This might be, we may do this, let's do this next turn. I guess I'm also like worrying about this for no reason. Also, why is your morale so bad? What happened to you? Oh, everyone's morale kind of got chunked. And it's just that the Grid Knight just starts with so much. Okay. Have a drive. We'll just like toss everything on. We're gonna get it back anyway. There's an Excel. Here's a Spirit. Only that actually matters. Charge and Smash and Love. And then 3 as... Oh. Okay, so it always forces it onto where the Grid Knight is. I was hoping if we activated it with the Dynazenon that it was going to give us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That it was going to give us the combination like with where the Dynazenon was, but no, that is not the case. Okay. Can we get Char involved at all? No, it doesn't look like it. That's a shame. Okay. We probably can't get Cure involved either. But we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not quite in range. We are literal 1 movement away from being able to do something that's relevant. But we do have a Zeal, so we can just go like this. We have the Zeal then. And we can just keep Zealing the Grid Knight if we want to keep getting it in combat. Bud, why is your morale so bad? Thank you. Oh, I forgot we have the Burning Rex Roar now. How much more damage is this? Golly, a lot. Okay. Oh, though I guess I did put some other stuff on with Gamma, so that actually, it's probably not going to be that much. Works fine. Yeah, so let's... Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay. You need have a Love. That's lethal now. I wonder what happens. Hold on. Let's experiment quick because this is our first time that we've gotten a Zeal. I wonder if we can like pass through the turn. I guess it's lower priority target. Yeah, so like let's do this. Let's pass through the turn, not have the Zeal up. And then can we spend a Zeal now to turn ourselves back on? We can. Okay, cool. Sick. Also, hello. I see 2 people have opted to join me today. Thank you for joining my stream. I appreciate you being here. We are trying to punch this Mecha Angel monstrosity in the face. And just trying to figure out how we can get all of our like actual damaging units over and involved. We can also get Domon over here. Oh, but he needs some morale. We can fix that up quite right quick. This is lethal, but we need some accuracy. Have that. We just need him to be able to keep taking his turns. So back to the grind. No, we need parts. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe it is a fool's errand to try and like bend this game into something that it's not, and we can like deal with that task if and when we run out of games to play. Yeah, that is. Well, I think that is true. I think it's also just like a fun exercise to talk through while we're sitting here. So instead of just banning assists, we could theoretically ban specific assists, like knock out Mari, knock out the second, because they're too good. and knock out Unity. Yeah, or we could make it like anything that gives extra turns, anything that gives extra assist, because like those are the two problem situations, right? Like inherently just having soul is not a problem. That's not lethal because they have support defense. Okay. That seems fine. So like that means like theoretically Hayate would still be useful, but that said, I don't feel like we need that to be the case. Like I'm okay if we just have a character. Like I would be okay if Hayate was not necessarily our go-to character. I definitely didn't get to look at. I definitely didn't get to use all of our spirits, or all of the assists. I didn't get to use all the assists that were part of the group, just because some of them felt so overwhelmingly dominant. But I think some of them do complement each other really well. It also just like it feels, I think, a little bad that among the best. This is lethal. That's probably fine. We'll let the flesh. Is that true? Do we want that to be true? Yeah, that's cheaper. It does feel really bad that the pilots that are the assists that have the best passives are like kind of also the ones with the best actives. Like that probably should not be how that gets balanced. I remember at first saying that it felt like there was a lot of like interesting choices I was being asked to make between who I had to put as my assists. But at this point now, it doesn't. That feeling is largely gone. I will love here. Yeah. You need a more. Though this also might be something that could like maybe get programmed. Like could I like get a macros to not a macross, a macros. A macro, sorry, no, a macro, that is a plural word. Could I get a macro set up to like go once assist is like low? We can just like set this to do this really quickly. I think it's just the downtime animation that's making this a lot longer. Yeah. That's good. Press. 1, 2, 3. Here's some more stuff. So, as of this evening, I will be setting in to work on another new project that is related to no matter what, we have to attack somebody. Yeah, that works. Okay. Or we have to attack someone through a support defense. That's interesting that they're allowing a support defense to like be lethal. At least in all the games that I have played, you could not support defend someone if it was going to kill you. That's curious. But as of this evening, I will be starting into a new project relating to Y. That could theoretically, we could theoretically pivot that into any game in the series. And an intuition is the cheapest way to do that. We could doubling damage actually won't matter now because we just need to go through both the defense. Yeah. So that's exciting, and it will, especially for people who find what I'm doing right now exceedingly boring. You can look forward to the fact that this thing is probably going to be much more for you than some of my other content has been. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure exactly how far we will get. It feels like the sort of thing that is probably going to end up being over the course of like multiple videos, over the course of like maybe multiple months. But I think, yeah, I think for these like bigger projects, I need to be more comfortable setting them into multiple videos rather than making these like 1 or 2 colossal videos. But I think we'll also like get that like honed down in time. I think part of it is just that I'm like really rambly right now because I don't actually know what we need to say or what we need to cover. Here, I mean, you're not going to be doing anything else this turn, so I guess I have 10 more stats here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you are a boss. I guess we need to like. I just meant to use love, but that's fine. And this still isn't lethal. How about you take a smash? Yeah, that's good now. 26,000, nice. Okay, he seems dead. Yeah. We're running out of villains to chunk through, so we're probably getting close to the end. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, this is a generic, not a real soldier. And we also still have the Valor on. Yeah. Can we kill Burn like this? No, we cannot. It's fine. 1, 2, 3. That'll work. Do we need to... no, you still got to press on you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I also don't think it doesn't help that because this is so button intensive that I like can't have like a particularly cogent thought. I like need to make sure I'm counting correctly. I need to make sure I'm like menuing correctly so that I don't lose the turns. Yeah. Here's a question for the team. How do you feel about map design in this game? I have complained generally, but I can like talk. We can talk more specifically now while we're doing these cycles. I really like it when maps are perhaps the like interactive element. But I think when we get down to it, the vast majority of units in these kind of games end up feeling really samey when you just put them in a space to do battle. Fire Emblem tried this for a little bit with the Link Arena, and it did not feel like... I don't think it was what people actually wanted it to be. I think it was, like, cute in practice, but it ended up feeling very sort of, like, heartless. Because, like, none of these are particularly sophisticated interactions. It's about, like, this. It's about however the setting is working. It has, at the risk of sounding like literally every, like, online commentator about games ever, it is, like, the same reason why Dark Souls is successful. That game's combat system is, like, not actually that complicated. Not to speak of difficulty, that's not where the conversation is. But, like, the actual input, like, what you are actually doing in combat is pretty straightforward. And, like, the same is true here. So I think where a lot of like nuance or like interesting things happen is from a scenario asking you to do something meaningful. And that usually comes from yes, that's good. And that usually comes from like things being laid out in a way that is like actually interesting. So giving us secondary objectives. Like I would have liked to have seen, I don't know what a Super Robot Wars equivalent of like villages would be. I suppose just like towns. If we have super robots, and I feel like a lot of the villains of super robots tend to be like, we've destroyed the town today. Actually, yeah. So here's I think this is probably, I think it's probably fine to be asymmetric across like types of series. So have when super robots are involved, we could have some of the objectives being going to the terrain tiles that are like house coded. Whatever we want to name them. That's why I'm phrasing it that way. Okay, we still have some assist cheers left, I'm sure. Though I guess let's be safe. We don't know what's coming after this, so there's no reason to break it. Go to house tiles that the enemies are like targeting. Give us like an indicator that the enemies are moving that way. I don't think we need like the Fire Emblem like blue spirit line over their head. I think I'm fine with just like a red arrow pointing around one of the orthogonal bases. And then let that be like, oh, they're going to be vaguely moving in this direction. And we can try and like suss out where they're going. That would also require people like me to actually pay attention to the story if they like zoom in on a town that's being attacked. If we have like 4 different like little clusters of towns, or like there's like the city and then there's like a small like outbuilding kind of town area. And if we zoom in on that during the actual like scenario, or like during the conversation of the scenario, that would like get me to pay attention to it, because I like have to like it would give me information about objectives that I need to care about. It's still not lethal. Okay. I guess we can drop your morale. Yeah, you have 100 morale. We can make you lose. That's probably gonna help. I guess first let's take out this Drake Soldier just to make it slightly easier to menu through it. Yeah, that checks out. It's a lot of spirits we're using on like a generic, but I guess what if we'll do both because we want to get the money out of this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think we can cash in an assist cheer here. I think that's worth it. But yeah, so have us like give us towns we have to like get to. That could also give us reasons to prioritize units that are maybe ones we wouldn't like otherwise want to fight until later. Yeah, because you just need something to like break up whatever this pattern is. But there's nothing like, even if you're not doing this, there's nothing stopping you from going through and getting rid of all of the generics first, and then fighting all of the bosses after that once you were like good and ready. And like that is typically going to create a very samey play pattern. Which, like, in my humble opinion, I think we should probably avoid. And then and then for the like political machinations of the Real Robot series, I think you can probably like really easily just make no. Oh, that's a real problem. Okay, well I guess we're finishing it this turn. That's fine. Okay, we'll use all the characters we have available to us. I suppose we will have Domo and Kilburn then. The only trouble is we're not double moneying him. Though I guess we could spend our gain here. Or our blessing here. That's still not lethal. We also haven't like downstatted you with, we haven't intimidated you. We can do that. But I feel like there's a lot of times where the Real Robot plots are used as like a kidnap story, which I think gets a little repetitive. But you know, you could have a title where you actually have to go and like you have to physically go and rescue that character, and then that gives you the ability to hand out 2 different rewards. One where they showed up, like, I guess not 2 different rewards, like that you can get a reward, like give us an extra part or something, if you do actually like go and rescue them during the mission rather than waiting till the end of the scenario. Like that probably feels worthwhile. I was like trying to think of specifics, but I think the reason why we've never talked about specifics is it feels probably actually more case by case. We could like look at a specific map, but that would also require me to know the story of the map. So I guess we could talk about it for like not why, but then it feels like why are we doing it? We could just talk about it if we're playing that game instead. Actually, here I guess here we know that the Grand got force deployed onto this map. Yeah, we know that the Grand got forced onto this map. So why not have the Grand like sitting over here at the beginning of the map with 4 units around it, signify somehow that those units aren't going to attack. You can take these damages. Signify somehow that those units can't attack. And then if we want to get that unit back during the scenario, then we have to go and kill them. And that does give us the ability to sort of like interact then with like what we want actually to like be in the scenario, you know? Hold on. Whose series is this man from? Is this just from Dunbine, or is this from like the second one? When the Drake's thrown, he fell from grace and was position of countless beats at Show's hand. Okay, so we theoretically want Show to kill him if there is an objective there. We may have needed to like do this a lot more, but we may need to hit him more than just right now. But if we're not going to end this turn anyway, we may as well like do this, not kill him, and then let Show be the one to do it. Just to see if there is like an objective or something. Let's get our damage up. Not that we probably need it, but there's also no reason to be that close. We can definitely. Oh, he starts with game. Oh, now that Ciela's here, we also have infinite blesses. Okay, never mind. We're fine. So we could be blessing all these bosses. This is theoretically unique. I don't think we're actually going to use it if we do get him. But I believe in the past we do get access to the Black Knight, so that's why I'm thinking we can probably get him here. I guess the thing I'm asking for is kind of what expert points and SR points look like. It feels weird to me that there aren't in this game when I'm pretty sure T definitely had them. I definitely doing them for T. But I think I think expert / SR points are still a very rudimentary version of what I'm talking about. as I'm saying that, well, I said like slash. What is the actual difference between those two? Is it just the name that the game uses? Or like, do they actually have like a functional difference? Is that like expert points increase the difficulty of the game, where like SR points only like produce you a direct reward if you fulfill them? I think we said they were always increasing difficulty, but I'm just curious if there is a difference. If there is, I don't know it. That was some levels. Not that those mattered. Oh no, he seems pretty dead. Okay. Okay. Maybe we need to do something else to like maybe if we had done some of the other objectives, we could have like recruited him there instead of killing him. Oh, that's not what I meant to use. I meant to use drive. That's whatever. Big sloppy. Oh. There we go. My controller disconnected for a second. That was spooky. I guess we actually probably could finish this turn if we just kept zealing up the Dinocenons. Actually, hold on. We could just finish it now. We are already double damage. Do we have second attack on them? Because it looked like we were getting a second. Yeah, we do. Our skill is just too low. Yeah. Okay, so if we wanted to intimidate some of these bosses, we could. Maybe we will just do this with. Maybe we can still do this turn. I guess I said I wanted to push more. Let's see if we can do this turn with like characters we don't normally get to use. I think intimidate is going to be the biggest difference, just to allow a double attack, potentially. I guess this is pretty knowable. We should be able to check that, but it is okay. Great. Have a persist, I guess, and we'll just take some more spirit. We still have 3 in spare, so I guess we could use boss to give us a smash. Okay, that is lethal now. So we just need this to be a press. Yeah, this will take a little bit longer, but I think it's worth it, because, I mean, Takuma is at level 60. But I always assume that the getters are going to get one of the extra turn spirits. It's weird that they haven't. So I'm hoping that Takuma's last one is a Zeal. So let's see if we can see if we can get him up there. I don't think at this point they can really gain much more damage. Like baked into the kit they already have. Like they could get some more levels and whatever, but I think they've got max morale right now. I don't think there's anything else, like any other thresholds they need to reach. I'm trying to think how other like tactics games or tactics-like games differentiate themselves. And I think the other answer to it is just that the combat has like a way more varied amount of like unit interaction is way more varied, thereby producing more interest in combat. Whereas here, because everyone can kind of functionally do everything, we don't have that level of like interaction in the same way, right? We don't have to like check different types of damage against other types of damage. Like if instead of being a weapon property, make it like actually a damage type, or like make it like a type, like make melee, make beam, make missiles into their own damage type. Like that might encourage some more of this interaction. But I think right now a lot of the way that this game wants to try and like frustrate scenarios is doing what it's doing right now, where it's like kill this boss, then kill this boss, then kill this boss, but just like not actually putting the whole of the scenario on the table up front. Which is definitely a way to do it. There are, oh no, actually no, none of these are generics, right? This single Windermere soldier, I'm not calling the battleships generics because they are providing us with like a decent amount of money. I think they're providing like 9K. If we double that damage, that's lethal then? Yeah, great. You have this blessing. And right, we need to spend that loop on extra morale. We can do this next loop on 2 extra turns. I don't hate the idea that like the bosses are going to wait to show up until later. Like that feels appropriately very anime, where it's like, surprise, you thought. I don't mind that. Like I think that's fine. But I do think these recent games rely on it a lot for trying to add complexity to a stage. I guess as I'm saying this, I'm working on my playthrough of Alpha right now, and I don't feel like Alpha has that same problem, at least so far. All right, this was meant for this battleship. That works for me. That gave us a little bit less because they are not gold aces yet. They are 8 kills away from being gold aces. This is... We need cash parts. Okay. Bless here. This is good. Yeah. Oh man, this is already feeling tedious. I guess like what... It's also because I'm like obsessed with the idea of getting low turn counts, and like maybe this is just not what we need to be doing. Do you have any barriers? We established that you didn't really have much of anything. Yeah, okay. Oh, but your morale's gone back up with all of the murdering we were doing. We can... No, let's drop your morale some more. But I do, like... Given how overinflated everything is, though, I feel like if we don't do something like this, the game is just going to annihilate us, though. That's why I'm, like, still really, like, hesitant to say we just shouldn't be doing this, whether I'm, like, ruining the game for myself. Because I do feel like the numbers on the enemies are pushed. Like, we saw Godzilla. He, with his map attack, nearly took out, like, a half of our team. So it it feels like you're supposed to be doing like this to some degree. Okay, yeah, he was at 137. Let's see where this puts him now. 124. So it's dropping him by 13 each time. So this should technically put him down. This should theoretically put him down to 111 with this daunt. No, that put down to 114. That only dropped him by 10. What's happening? He had 114 left this time, and now it went down. I don't understand. I don't get it. You ignore weapon properties, right? Negates incoming weapon effects. Stats halved, immobilized, morale down, SP down. Oh, okay, no. So we can crush. Yeah, that can happen. Oh yeah, we should also turn attack animations on just to see what he looks like. Spirits and Zeal and parts. I feel like we have 2 parts that are usable. Soldier's Medallion, no. Oh, no, we did take it off him. We did take it off him. Okay, never mind. That's me. But I guess here's another issue I am running into, is that once our damage gets so great, or once we have such a consistent use of spirits, how the enemy works doesn't actually matter. Like when I was thinking about this when I was looking through all the daunts. I was like, wow, there's such a diversity of like enemies on the map visually here, but I like don't need to consider what they do. Because even if we weren't doing this with Oli May, we still just have flashes and bullseyes enough to like guarantee that we never need to participate in combat that we don't want to participate in. Do we have like wall or something? I guess we can just use flash because that's gonna like keep being. Yeah, we can just keep doing that. Then we have a flash, a smash, and I guess we valor here. This is energy very costly, but. But even that doesn't matter. Like costs don't mean anything to us. Yeah. When for the class, for the group, when did this sort of design become more dominant? Because like there's definitely like an arc to getting here. Like this isn't just we were alpha one day and now we suddenly became this. I suspect that this was probably possible in T, and I just like wasn't there yet or like didn't think hard enough about it. I was also playing with someone who was like not as interested in thinking about how the mechanics interacted. So yeah, when did this happen? I'm sort of taking it for granted that VTX all are to some degree like this, but like was that true before we got to this like new saga? Sure, that seems fine. We do have fortune. Great. I guess we never actually saw what this thing looked like. I'm sorry. It's fine. We'll see it get punched. I'm assuming all the eyeballs on its wings probably shot like lasers or something. I really like that the music is carrying through all of this though too. This is like it's good tone setting. But it does like it does feel like we are pushed to do this more. Like I do think it's what these games want to be, and I wonder when that's where the identity became the case. I don't think it's just because we can buy parts to buy stuff to put on people. I do wonder if that's like contributing somewhat greatly. Like we do lose a lot of unit identity that way, when you can't either you can't buy specific parts, right? If it was just like here were like 6 different things you could buy for this character, because it was whatever the predetermined thing was, right? That not everyone could buy attack, or not everyone get like efficiency. If right, like Judo, I think tends to get a lot of like money ups. He tends to be like frugal. That's why I have him on my Patreon. That if we could give him all of the discount skills, but you had to buy into them. But that not everybody would get all the discount skills, right? That he did. He got Lucky Star and save energy, save ammo. But like Camille didn't. That Camille got like attacker and infighting and gunfighting. Like it doesn't be exactly that way, but just like you understand what I'm saying, right? That might be interesting, where you were allowed to customize them, but you still have to like buy. You still have to buy them up, or you just don't get enough money to do that on every character. That you actually have to like really consider how you spend your money. Because actually, I think maybe that's more the problem, is that our resources are basically unlimited in all ways. And because of that, we can just like do whatever we want. Oh, everyone's gotten Super Saiyan Aura. I did not expect Mikumo to be as theoretically significant as she is right now. So I can listen to the story. Oh, she broke free of it. Everything's fine. Yo, are you gonna refresh the turns on Hayate? That'd be great. Or we should get a story kill. Maybe this is just his only form. I would really be disappointed if this was his only form. This is pretty sick, though. Does Hayate get another attack? Can we do this all the time? Because we really don't need another attack on him. Also, I never like thought about this, but why does this take energy? He just shot rockets and he's shooting machine guns here. Why does this cost energy? Like, this doesn't make sense. Actually, here's another thing. Here's another thing that's like still all connected with this. It is one of the reasons why I stopped playing Magic as much. That I think people were doing stuff like what I'm doing here, and finding a way to do it was fun. And then the company went, let's design towards that because people want to do that. But the fun of it was figuring out how to make that happen. I don't want stuff designed for me. And the point being, I played a lot of Commander, and it feels like a lot of Commander, like modern Commander products, were designed for Commander now. Hello, the Iffy Gamer. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad to see you here. What's going on, boss man? Hope all is well. All is mostly well. It's well now. We started kind of rough. Oh yeah, I never mentioned that. We started kind of rough, but like now that we're into things are going well. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. We're trying to punch Royd in his slimy little face. Oh, maybe we do just get Keith anyway. Maybe I was wrong about that. A golden heavy metal? Who are you from a movie? I believe you're. Yeah, okay. I guess all the characters we didn't kill are going to be destroyed. That's fine. I don't believe I've seen your name before in chat. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All good by G. Thanks for asking. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. What's your experience with Super Robot Wars, and just like, yeah, Super Robot Wars in general, and then why specifically? Okay, like, Poseidon's animation style looks different than everybody else's. I feel like he might be from, like, supplementary material, maybe. Or maybe he's just drawn weirdly. I've definitely comment, like, sometimes they just don't get the same, like, visual treatment. Cool. Yeah, we got all of the morale we lost back now. Not that we needed it. We get 3 minutes. We can definitely do it in what is equivalently 1. Okay, let's look at our objectives. This still isn't even the end. Okay. The SV-262 HS Drake 3 and Zwalth destroyed. Any allied battleship destroyed. Daba Shion Keith defeated. 3 turns elapse after the appearance of Poseidon. Okay, great. Let's look. Okay, so Hayate is still consumed. That's unfortunate. I just started playing Y. Sick. I hope you have a good time. You are jumping in at basically the end of the game. So I guess just be prepared for some spoilers then if you're here. So we do get Keith. I knew we were gonna get him. I guess like here's a pretty major spoiler. He's gonna be a villain for most of the game. Is Y gonna be your first Super Robot Wars game, or have you played them before? Super Robot Wars is one of the games that got me back into playing games. Oh, sick, cool. So what is the rest of experience? What's the rest of your experience with these games? I tend to be more towards the early side of things. Also, apologies. I'm not very good at this, so my streaming setup is kinda butts. You're probably gonna experience a lot of buffering. That's not you, that's me. Don't you worry about you. I can't really do much about it. But if we get some delay, you can blame me for it. You don't care about spoilers? Okay, well, great. Then you won't have to worry about that. What? Yeah, like what's the goal for your playthroughs? Are you like more story, more gameplay, a little bit of mix? I tend to be really gameplay focused. Largely because I like a lot of these series, I want to know their backgrounds and how they're going to overlap before I like start fully judging them. And like I haven't watched half of the things that are in here, but I know that's also like atypical for a lot of people. Okay, full wave protection. That doesn't matter. We're never going to be there. We also don't need it. Starting with potential level 8 is not nothing. Oh yeah, Supreme is just crit rate, which is probably fine. That could like save us some smashes. Yeah, okay. What do we got over here? Focus, Intuition, Excel, Spirit, Pierce, Soul. Nothing that stand out. No, I just finished OG Moon Dwellers. Oh, sick. I have not played Moon Dwellers yet. Yeah, I think we talked about that last time on stream. People were like pretty jazzed about it. Okay, what else we got to look at? Zwalth. Drops Remuel's Horn, used with the parts command to give you 60 SP to one of the unit's pilots. Okay, I wonder how much this actually gives. I guess here, if you're just starting playing, here's a little bit of something. Typically, when something says it gives you SP back, it actually gives you double that. So like the SP supplement gives you 80 and not 40. This fixer beam gives you 80 and not 40. It's not like a major thing, but it's like, you know, worth knowing. So I wonder if this gives 120 instead of 60. Right, what else you got? Aura Barrier. Offshoot is going to be the obnoxious one. We need to like make sure you're here for gameplay and story. Okay, sick. Good to know. Good to know. What difficulty are you playing on? There's no judgment regardless of which one it is, but just so we're like kind of talking about the same thing, especially because expert works really differently in this game. I am on expert, as you can see in the title. But there's definitely some gameplay changes because of Aura power, that's not going to matter. We're going to pierce through it. We're never going to get hit. Okay. Really basic attacks, too. Okay. Though it does look like Zalth is not... Oh, no, Zalth is the one we care about. And Poseidon is, I guess, who we're going to have to fight afterwards. Nullifies all damage taken. Wait, okay. Why? Hold on. Okay, sure. So I guess we're just not supposed to kill him yet. We're supposed to deal with everything else first. That's fine. Okay, let's go punch Royd. You're playing on hardest? Yeah, okay, so as of right now, that is expert. So we'll be talking about the same thing. Good to know. How far? When do you think they're going to drop the DLC? I believe it's a year out from when the game released, so I think we're going to have a while to go. I think I saw somewhere that it was 2026. At the very least, I don't think we're going to get it this year. I think if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be into the new year. But I think it's like going to be like probably a year out, which is really disappointing. But typically, at least from what I know about in the past, that also means we're going to get Expert Plus or like Super Expert or whatever they want to call it. So if they're working on like an extra mode at the time, I'm not like super upset about that. I guess hold on, we'll punch one of these and see how much this actually gives us. That's not worth it to keep doing that. We'll just go back to punching bosses. Okay. You need to be brought low. We can drop your morale a little bit, but that doesn't matter. We can still intimidate you, though. Yeah, okay. Let's get back to Lupin. I just got to the part where you get to choose your name. Oh, okay. So you're still like really rather early on. I guess this is like a largely uninformed question then, but still, I mean, you can still have impressions at this point. Like who you've been enjoying so far? You do get a lot of heaters really early on. You get a lot of really exciting characters early on in the game. Do you play the SD games? I have played one of them. I would like to. I don't know if we'll get to do it on the channel or not, because there's so heckin' many of just Super Robot Wars. But I have a limited experience with the SD games. Have you played a lot of them? I came to this series also like super late. I grew up with the SD Gundam TV show on, and I thought it was some of the most inane stuff on the planet. So I never paid attention to the games, assuming it was just exactly the same. But no, it turns out they're actually really competent games. So it took until I got some of the SD Gundam games while I was living in Japan, but that was what, like almost a decade ago now. That's wild to say. We can pierce also. Yeah, so I got them then, but I didn't really play them much coming after that. I was like back to school after that, and then I was teaching, so I didn't have a lot of time. And then I got into Super Robot Wars, like pretty well as soon as I was able to. I think most of the SD Gundam games are also hex-based rather than square-based. Is that true? Not that that's like necessarily stopping me from playing them. It's just like an extra wrinkle where at least I can like bring my like preset knowledge to some of these games with them being just like on grid. Okay, we are most of the way there. Oh, right, we never actually downstatted you. We need to intimidate him. The point of that loop was not to give damage to the Dynazenon. Not that it's a bad thing, just it was not what we were there for. We need to second Master Asia. Well, I guess also, if you do keep watching me, you are going to see what I think is perhaps the most combo-tastic version of the end game here. You can very easily go infinite. You can basically do everything as much as you want whenever you want, as evidenced by the fact that we're still on turn 1. Which is Honkin' Wild. Okay. I guess let's intimidate both of our bosses now. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me for a second. I finally opened my windows up again. And definitely a little sneezy. Okay. Did we intimidate the right person? Oh no, we super didn't. We just intimidated this random man. Okay, that's fine. That's on me. Do we have other intimidates sitting here? I played SD Gundam's G Generations Crossrays. Is that the one that is available on Steam, or one of the ones that's available on Steam? I know I own all the ones that are available on Steam. I just haven't played them yet, which is perhaps the like true gamer curse. But given that you are, I assume you're approaching this with some knowledge of like Gundam. Are there any other like mecha that you are familiar with? I guess it doesn't even matter if we're like not fully damaging here. Yeah, okay. Right, because it's, you know. I think at this point, we have enough left in the tank that I'm probably going to start spending some of our resources. I can't imagine we're going to have like a full another set of bosses after this. I think we're probably killing like these two, this and the Zug, whatever the thing, it's named after a spice or whatever it is. And then we'll probably be able to punch the Ogre, the Gold Ogre. Can you grind money? Yes, you absolutely can grind money in this game. I will not be. I have opted to do none of the grinding, but there are a lot of grinding opportunities if you want them. I think just by I don't think you need to. You never need to grind in any of these games. But like in this game in particular, I don't think you need to. There are some missions that have like a yellow triangle diamond kind of shape to the left of them. I think they just have the word battle underneath of them. They are going to be available to you every so often. I believe it's every time you complete 4 main missions, you get them back, or 4 like main or side missions, you get them back. But those are theoretically the grinding chapters. You start with only 1, but I believe I have 8 available to me now, and all of them will keep resetting. So like, yeah, you got a lot of stuff you can grind. But if you are particularly enterprising with Lucky Star, the Bank of Amon check, and eventually you'll get something called Product Converter. You'll get a lot of money out of that without it. It took me until this moment, because I don't pay attention, to notice that the Kaiser Grid Knight was doing the Ultraman hands. I'm a little sad we haven't gotten to see it do the like Ultraman like rise up animation at all. Oh man, all right. I think once we figure out what's happening here, We'll go to unit analysis for a little bit, just to like give this time to buffer itself. My dream dies here. Do we get him for just this scenario? That'd be so lame. Oh, okay. That's fine. Oh, do we finally get the other Dynasana now? Let's rock. Oh, yes. Oh, it's microscopic kaiju. That's really cute. I hope we get to keep them. I don't know how much we'll invest into them. We'll take a look at them and see how good all their spirits are. I like the first recruits that we just got, Domon. I think Domon is one of the best early game units possible. He is, I think, really rather competent. Like, yeah, well, like I'm still using him now. He is, I think, definitely worth your while. If he seems cool, definitely keep using him. Okay, let's see what the Dynazenon Relive does. We also have Combined Dragon. Good. We need to jump them to, we'll see what their max morale is going to be. Okay, so we need to give them 20 morale somehow. Hello, NR151. Glad to see you're here too. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today? We literally moments ago just got the payoff from the secret we were talking about last time we were streaming this game. Why are they a support unit? I guess like narratively that makes sense, but it's very silly to see these two as supports. Spirit Endurance, Sadie. Okay, cool. Chaos Bringer Daybreak. I wonder how different any of these are actually going to look comparatively, and they tend to give them different names because they're like different coloration. Interesting that we're only at like 4 upgrades though, because we definitely don't have only 4 upgrades into damage on the Dynazenon, do we? That can't be right. Yeah, no. 66% upgraded. Let's see how upgraded you are. 26. This is, I think, the first time we've gotten these like passed over upgrades. That we've like sent upgrades over from other units and like not gotten all of them. What chapter do you unlock the shop? That is chapter 3. And chapter 2 is rather long, so you're going to be without the shop for a minute. Sorry. Okay, here's the moment of truth, though. Let's look through our spirits. We have a Zeal. We've got a 50 cost Zeal. They might be good. What's which do? 50% HP and statuses and activates a fortune on any ally. Sick. Yeah, as soon as I believe it's as soon as you get to chapter 3, it's available to you. If it's not immediately, it's like one mission in. Though I suppose you probably can't hear me because of my buffering, so thank you for getting that for me. Trust, wall, analyze. Oh, we've not even been analyzing any of them. I forget to analyze any of them. Just don't need it. Drive, Valor, Smash. Okay. Resupply. Why they need Unity also? They don't need to have Unity. Okay, yeah, they might be good. They might be good.